What's up, Aries? Happy December. I hope you guys are doing well, staying safe, feeling good, taking in all of these transformative energies because the energies just feel so freaking great. I know I can't complain. They have been empowering me more than they are, taking me through the ringer or making me feel like I'm going through the ringer, I should say. So I hope they are doing the same for you. So I'm gonna start the new year off with some new content, putting it on YouTube and starting just like a little flow, a little vibe in the YouTube area, especially because I know TikTok is probably going to be ending soon. So I definitely want to create a safe space for all of us sensitive souls on every platform I can. So this is the one platform that I feel like I can talk for forever without creating like 5 million segments. So anyways, let's get started for your monthly energies for the whole month of December. Spirit has chosen your guys' decks. So I'm just gonna leave that baby there. Actually, let's go ahead and let's see what we have. And then we have the Eye of Horus reverse, which is interesting. And they gave me that feeling that I needed to. Alrighty, so I kind of already got a vibe that there's a particular lesson that we are going to be reviewing, guys. So, and I feel like it has to do with your healing energy and your ability to make the right decisions for yourself. Come on, y'all. Okay, let's see. Look, that card was already trying to shuffle in the very beginning. I feel like what I'm really feeling is you guys are so, so compassionate, and you guys have a lot of love. And I feel like for you guys, you value your ego. You value feeling good and thinking good about yourself. You value knowing that you are walking in the right direction, and you're walking your walk and talking your talk. So naturally, what you're going to do is you're going to encourage other people around you to do the same, right? And there's this feeling of, let me start that over. But there's this feeling of people kind of hiding behind your ego because it makes them feel better without them actually doing the work. You know what I mean? It's like people really just want to live off of your high self-esteem without working on their own. So it's almost as if they're copying your moves and your steps without actually creating change from their own inner world and inner needs and feelings and thoughts, okay? So let's just hop right on into it. So first pile, we have Initiation, which talks about spiritual testing of Ra and the Lady Isis. And then you have this Renewal card, and then you have this Ace of Pentacles, right? So this talks about, this vibe of being granted the opportunity to move forward. But instead of moving forward, you're going backwards because there's some energy there that you still have to work on, like some cycles that really needs to be closed for yourself. And if we move on into the second pile here, we have the Knot of Isis, energetic stabilization with the Buckle of the Beloved. And then we have Radical Curiosity, seeing as if for the first time, every time, and the Knight of Wands. Yeah. So whenever I look at the Knot of Isis, I get this feeling that you need connections to be made in order for you to really get something in your head, for you to really understand something, for you to really digest whatever you're learning or whatever energy is coming at you. And in order for, everything to connect in your mind, you have to have all the dots connected. And I think that's just with everybody. But for you guys, you value things making sense because everything is more so attached to your ego. I hope that makes sense. I feel like your ego and who you are is very important to you. So if it feels right for you, if it makes sense in your brain, then you're able to move forward. And if not, you're stuck. And maybe that's what spirit is referencing to. And the energy that I was picking up earlier had, like, again, it has to do with people hiding behind your ego, people hiding behind your good, and people kind of staying in your shadow and pretending that they are just as proud of themselves as you are, but in reality they're very insecure. So when you are around a lot of insecurity and people who second guess themselves, I feel like it makes you angry. But I also feel like too, because you love people so much and you care about where they're going, what you're going to do is you're going to help them. You're going to consistently help them put in the work to better themselves because you honor that type of energy. You honor bettering yourselves and surpassing your limits at all cost. And you honor that more than some people do. And I feel like too, when it comes to these people, you have to watch who is actually about their shit. Like, who is actually walking their walk and talking their talk around you. Because if they are not walking their walk and talking their talk around you, then that means there is some hypocrisy in their energy. There is a lie there. There is a manipulation there. And at some point when they are down in their energy because they're not doing what they're supposed to do, or they're suffering the consequences of their actions because they're going against they're going against their better judgment, they're not listening to their intuition, and they're just not really trying to better themselves, they're just trying to have a good time or take the easy way out, they are going to bring you down. They are going to clip your ankles and make sure you lower yourself to their shit standards. I'm just going to be real with you. They're going to get jealous. They're going to make sure that you don't succeed and you don't stay far away. They start off by looking up to you and they love that you're feeding them all these compliments and all this encouragement, but this encouragement is coming from, themselves, i.e. what they're looking for is external validation. They're not looking at themselves from within and motivating themselves to do better. So I feel like what Spirit is really saying is that this is a blind spot for you. Now the messages are flowing into. This is a blind spot for you. And with this Ace of Pentacles facing the past, these people in your life actually hold you back from new opportunities. And it's crazy because right before I started this reading, I was thinking about this person that I had in my life recently, and if you follow me from TikTok, then you know about this situation, but I invited this girl to live with me because, she had a lot going on with her mom and her living situation. She had a son, she was a single mother. We're the same age, we're both 28, right? And so her mom, from her mouth, this is what this girl was saying. She was saying that whenever she would pay her mom rent money, her mom would gamble the money away and would come back to her and kind of force her to cough up more money. And so, the universe created this opening for this friend and said, hey, I have a way out, Bree is going to help you. And I had this dream that we were in a school. The bells are ringing and it's time to shift, right? Whenever the bells is ringing, like the fire alarms are ringing, something's happening that signals like panic mode. I know that the energy is shifting. And so the energy started shifting and she's panicking and I'm calm, cool as a cucumber. And I yell her name. I'm like, hey girl, come here, come over here. So when I woke up, I knew that I had to help her. And then that's when weeks later, you know, her tower crumbles and her mom pretty much kicks her out. And then I say, yes, please come, come. I have an extra room for you and your baby. I'm a sucker for the kiddos. So, she had a 5-year-old son. So I was like, yeah, come over. So I let her come. I'm on this uphill slope, right? Like, I just passed a huge karmic test in my life where I'm no longer allowing people to make me feel less than. So my confidence increased. And, at this time, I'm trying to get back to my health, my fitness journey. And as soon as she moves in, we have this discussion on what's to be done, when her move out date was. And, I basically tell her, get comfortable, take your time, and don't stress yourself out because you need to rest. And also you need to get your health in order. So I'm still trying to climb up my freaking ladder, right? And I'm starting to notice this pattern after a few weeks. Like the very first week, she wanted to invite her boyfriend over, and I wasn't comfortable with that because I didn't like him. He was kind of rude. He was kind of mean. He wasn't really okay with her, and he treated her like garbage beforehand. I don't know if you look over here in this area, you're gonna see this candle flickering high. You're gonna see the ambiance. But he was just not that great, right? And I know she had broken up with him prior because he just refused to let her over his house. Like, he yelled at her about it and stopped talking to her for like 3 months. And then he came back dishing out money, kind of like narcissistic people do when they really want to buy your love. That's what he was doing. So I didn't like him for that exact reason. And when I told her no, she ended up blowing over at me and making me feel like my boundary that I set because I needed to take care of myself, because I spent that whole entire week moving her and her son in, getting adjusted, and then also moving my house around to make her comfortable. And then I was driving her, to and from work. So I was doing a lot, and I was utilizing a lot of my energy that I always had for me beforehand for her. And so, yeah, when I placed that boundary, I told her no. She had this freaking meltdown. And at that time, I didn't understand that someone was not happy for my boundaries. Somebody was disrespecting me and my boundaries. I tried to work it out, and I placed another boundary, and I said, okay, at least give me 3 days in advance. And she pretty much told me that wasn't gonna work, and she's gonna do same day, and that's as good as it's gonna get. And I took that. Then I started to notice she was inconsistent with her words. She was inconsistent with a lot of things. So she would be on an uphill slope, and then she would drop, and then she would flatline. And then when she would flatline, the world would just be ending, and she would pretty much set fire to everything around her and sabotage herself. And it started to really rub off on me and stress me out because she was always screaming Mayday, 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 and wanting validation from me and wanting to be soothed, until eventually I was like, I'm not your freaking mother. So I had a lot of creative projects that I really wanted to get off the ground, and she would get in the way of that. And eventually that relationship had to end because I got tired. So this is the energy that Spirit is kind of bringing forth. Like, when you have people that don't stay true to their word and that sabotage themselves and don't walk their walk and talk their talk, they're looking for an easy way out, or they're looking for external validation 24/7, and they can't stand on their own 2 feet. They're not independent like you are. So what you have to do is you have to let those people go, because your love for them, sorry, that was my dryer, because your love for them will eventually become a weakness. And you don't want that weakness to become a blind spot for yourself, to the point where you're giving all of your loving energy to that person, and then you're always working with an empty cup. You work best when your cup is full and overflowing, and you want to give from that overflow. These types of people will drain the hell out of you and will never allow you to fill your cup up, because they're always going to be in need. And the best thing for you to do is to leave them alone and leave them to fail and leave them to their own demise, because you know very well, my Aries, that sometimes you have to fall and bust your butt in order to learn the full extent of what is being taught to you within life. You know what I mean? Your best lessons come from learning and crashing and failing. Aries, you guys are no strangers to failure. You invite failure in, you appreciate failure, and failure does not really do anything to your ego. But if you stay around these people and you sleep, eat, and breathe these people, their failure will start to weigh on you. Their failure will start to just cloud your reality, and you will take on that failure. They're not registering that they are failing. They're just trying to find a quick fix, and the quick fix is for you to validate them, right? You are the only one that recognizes failure in these scenarios and in these situations. So you're going to internalize that because, of course, you're a loving person, you're a good friend, you're a good confidant, and you're noble and you appreciate your loved ones. You're going to, again, internalize that failure and try to problem solve. And if you have Virgo placements, this energy is definitely very big for you. So you have to watch who is in your energy. This is a blind spot. This is going to be what you're focusing on this month in December. And Spirit wants you to really change how you interact with these people and increase your worth. And I feel like because this is the Knight of Wands here, I feel like this is not like, this is a thing and you are aware of it, but you're used to it. So it's time for you to set your sights into increasing your worth and increasing your value and moving forward. So you come back into this Empress mode. So when you encounter people who no longer want to move forward and who no longer want to do the work while you are on a continuous uphill slope in your life, and you are very independent, you know exactly how to leave, and you know how to leave without your reserves emptied, without your cup emptied. You know what I mean? Like when I was going through that relationship with that friend, my cup emptied. I remember because week 1, my cup was, the week I moved that girl in, my cup was overflowing. It was overflowing, and I knew it because I felt good while giving. And then as I, told her like no, she ignored my no's and kept asking me for more and kept, pushing her, she kept pushing those emotional and mental and physical boundaries. And whenever I would open my mouth, she wasn't getting it. She just kept pushing, and she didn't really give a fuck about me, excuse my French. She only cared about herself and her needs to be validated and fed because she was highly insecure, right? But she posed as someone who was very, independent and a go-getter. Like she posed herself to be that way. She even came, towards me because I didn't go reach out to her to hang out and to become friends. She reached out to me. And when she reached out to me, she was like, oh my God, girl, I feel like we have so much in common. You have this good energy and I have this good energy, and I haven't met anyone who has the same vibe. People talk a good game because they really want what they really want is they want your sauce. They want to copy you. And she tried to copy me here and there. But what people don't understand is I am 100% authentic in what I do, and I am very independent because number one, I have to be, but that's just what's true to me. So I listen to myself and I go with my own flow, and that's what makes all of my moves very calculated, and my intentions are well. Like that's what makes the magic for me. And you can't copy that magic. You can't copy that type of authenticity because you're not me. So whenever she would try to copy me, it wouldn't stick. The energy wasn't as great when she would try to do all of those things that I would do. So, she would side-eye me here and there and kind of compare herself to me. And that's when she started to get real insecure, when she understood that she couldn't, what the hell? Sorry. Oh my gosh. When she understood that she couldn't really copy my flow. So watch out for those people. Watch out for those who want to hide in your energy, because she really hid in my energy. And like by the 3rd week, the third week to first month of her being with me, I was completely drained, and I was so drained, y'all, that I got sick. So she moved in August. September, I was still a bit drained. I was emptied. I would, yeah, by the second month, September, I would be up, fill my cup up a little bit, and then like after 2 days of me filling my cup up, it would go back to empty, because she was always in need of something, needed money, she needed a friend, she needed talking to, because she made shit choices. So then October came, and I got super sick in October, and because I couldn't even rest in October because she was pushing her son on me and then going through hell because she put herself through hell, I got sicker because I wasn't able to feed myself in every way, in every area. So you also have to make sure that you stay replenished and you take care of your physical health, your emotional health, and your mental health, so you don't get sick. Every single area is important for you, as to any human being. And when you ignore yourself and your needs, you end up insecure and you end up missing out on life. Like, you know, these people here, they empty their cup to a point where they don't, and like they empty their cup and they lose themselves to a point where they don't even know how to find their way back. So it's very important to don't let these people stay in your energy too long, because they will deprive you of everything and you will end up just empty like them. That was hell. That was hell for me. And the moment she moved out, the moment that that whole entire relationship ended, I blocked her from everything. And I said, thank God. She went back to her mom's house, which her mom was going to do the same exact thing to her that she had did prior. Use her for money, gamble the money away, and force her to pay more. And she's going to lose the car that she got from Lyft. And she's going to go back into that same poverty cycle. God put me in her life as an earth angel to help her get to this place of independence. I was a mentor for her, and she couldn't understand that. She couldn't appreciate that. So she tried to drain me and use me, and she got too greedy. And when she couldn't use me the way she wanted to towards the end, because spirit kind of pushed me to stand my ground and like tell her no and, you know, express myself, she didn't like it and she left. So those types of people, they don't want help. They just want someone to take the burden off of them. Big time. Wow. I love how that message kind of turned out for you guys. So let's see. We probably already touched on this energy without knowing it. But next we have the Eye of Horus reversed. We have 29, radical self-acceptance. You are perceived the way you perceive yourself. So yeah, like again, like this is about your value, babe. You're not seeing your worth. You're not seeing how you are the bright, shiny star that has all of this motivation behind it. You push people to be their best selves. You need to recognize your worth, and you need to recognize that only the people that reflect that same energy to you deserve that energy from you, because you guys are going to continuously encourage each other. I don't know if you guys are into anime, but one of my favorite animes is Black Clover, right? And you got Asta and then you got Yuno. These two boys were like orphans, and the way that this show starts is that these boys, you know, got dropped off at the same church as orphans and grew up together. Asta, you know, he had no magic. Yuno had powerful wind magic. And even though Asta was small, Asta stood up to villains and he rocked day-ish. He trained his body, trained himself, and he never allowed anybody to tell him that he was anything less just because he had magic. Yuno, on the other hand, he never let that wind magic get to his head. He actually learned from Asta as a young boy to not be wimpy and cry, you know, crybaby-ish, and to stand up for himself as a man and to hone his gifts. And they actually went along throughout the show to support each other. They went from little boys to grown, powerful men. The show is so good, y'all. And they supported each other even when they were in different Magic Night squads. They were always, you know, supporting each other and being, you know, rivals. Like, I love that show, but that's like a perfect example of what I mean. Like, those people will always support you. Those people who see themselves as independent, as authentic, and as a go-getter, and they never give up, because that was Asta's motto. you know, never give up. And then it went to surpass your limits. Like those people that push themselves and see value and worth within that and learn from their failures and stay humble while doing so, they're going to push you to do the same. Okay? Know your worth and see your worth. And if people are not, you know, reflecting that same energy, you need to bounce. You need to bounce, because they're only going to hold you back. Last but not least, masculine, or this says healing the divine masculine, Osiris arises. Ooh, I love this. Radical honesty. To believe in the facade is to suffocate in the armor of alienation. See defeat and see denial. Ooh, yes, the hermit. Yes. So this is about standing tall within yourself. And when a relationship, when a relationship is not working out the way you would like it to, but more so importantly, when people are showing you who they are, believe them. Know when to withdraw your energy. Know when to give up. Know when to say, this isn't for me. And know when to go on about your merry way. Because your type of light is only made for a certain amount of people, my Aries. Your energy is very intense in the best way possible. And you guys don't let nobody stop you. You need people like that around you. So don't lie to yourself. Check in with yourself. Because those types of people who are insecure and that want to hide in your energy for validation, they're going to get addicted. They're going to get addicted to your good words, right? They're going to get addicted to your encouragement. But the moment you start telling them what time of day it is with their behavior and getting in their asses, as you should, as a good friend, you're going to be the bad guy. So what you have to do is you have to watch out for those folks. And you have to let they ass know they got to go. They have to go. They can't be around here. You need true relationships, honest relationships, people that are upfront with you, and people needs to be comfortable with you being upfront with them, because that is what is real and true as a friend, as a lover, as a family member, and as a co-worker, and so forth and so on. I love honest people. I love people who can tell me about myself when I don't know something, whether it's good or bad. Remind me of who I am so I can change and I can continue to grow in the best way possible, because I value growth. My freaking heart it beams when I'm completing something, when I'm growing. I have an Aries Venus, y'all, at the 29th degree. So that's intense. That's intense Aries energy. So I resonate with this all too well, my love. I love this reading. I do. So I hope you guys enjoyed it too. And yeah, thank you so much for stopping by. Bye.